Are you as frustrated as I've been over the last several years and realizing the number of non-productive hours I've had every single time my computer goes down, whether it's a result of adding new software to the system, a bug that gets in the system, a hardware failure, a power failure, the internet doesn't work? These are really things that I had reached a level of frustration I couldn't possibly believe. And what I'm here to tell you today is all of those frustrations are gone. I finally found a solution, and I want to share that solution with you. Let's think about, if you're like me, I have basically average or above average skills when using a computer. I've totally become dependent on this device to run my business, or to run my life, as a matter of fact. And occasionally it crashes. And so right in the middle of this thought process that you have and what you were planning to do, you are now totally interrupted because you cannot proceed. And so you spend the rest of the day, the next few hours, sometimes even days, to get this problem resolved. Did you ever stop to think about what that costs you? If you're a $50,000 a year person, it's costing you $25 an hour every time this happens to you. So a very short outage, which might be a couple of hours, is going to cost you around $100. What about the time, using that time that you would apply to your business or to your profession, and how much money you've lost in terms of what those productive hours could have produced for you? So what I realized as I looked back is that if you only have a few outages per year, this is real money. And the frustration is even far worse. The pain of trying to deal with these problems, especially in the complexity of today's world, and being expected to be a computer technician and diagnose and fix the problem, apply the right fixes, follow all the instructions that are given to you. I realized that that's just not something I wanted to do. And then I realized that in a lot of the cases, I was out even further, where I had to pick up my computer and take it to a store someplace to fix the problem. So I started adding up all that money, and I started to really say to myself, I got to find a solution to this problem. Imagine life today. The first thing that I can tell you is my problems are completely history. I don't deal with any of the problems that I was talking to you about. The first thing that I did was I signed up with a system where my computer is completely diagnosed by an expert technician remotely. He called me up. He set up a time when he would be able to take over my computer. I turned over that computer to him. It takes about 4 or 5 hours for them to do the initial diagnosis. But once they've done that, they've gotten all that junk out of your system. They've gotten the viruses that are hanging around. They've gotten that that spyware off your system. And they put a set of tools on your system so that any time that they have to access and help you, the right tools are already there, ready to go. So they're able to get you back up online much faster. In addition to that, every Wednesday night, after midnight sometime, while I'm sleeping, my computer's diagnosed and then updated. So they're worried about making sure that I have current software on my system. They're making sure that I have the updated version of the virus software, as an example. So those things are really important, and I think what that does is it eliminates probably about 80% of the kinds of problems that people typically have. The next step, however, is when you have a problem, and we all have problems because we're always being forced to change our systems. We're always doing something, downloading might cause a problem. The neatest part about when I have a problem is I place a phone call. And sometimes I'm put into the queue, which says it's a voicemail system, but in every case that I've personally had experience in using this system, I can honestly tell you that within an hour, a person called me back. When the person calls you back, it is not some person who's trying to screen your call. It is a high-level technician. In fact, I believe there's 36 of them that are a part of the support system here. Every one of them that I've ever talked to is fully qualified. I tell the person what my problem is. They log on to my system. They take over the diagnosis of the problem remotely, and I do not have to be on that call. They will call me back 10 minutes later, several hours later, whatever time it takes them to fix the problem. They'll call me back to tell me the problem's resolved and it's time for me to go back and use my system. The number of hours that I've saved using this system, I can't begin to calculate. But the frustration, just never having to deal with that set of circumstances again, is worth 10, 20 times whatever I paid for the system. So if you'd like to have access to the same system, I'm going to give you on the next slide the link that you should go to that will enable you to get in direct contact with this service provider and get the absolute best service that I've ever seen, the best concept that I've ever seen in this industry. And they will do that at the most professional level that you have ever seen. And I can almost guarantee that based on my experiences of having used this for the last several years. Thank you. So what should you do right now? I'd like you to click on the URL that you see here. It will take you to a description of the system so that you can see exactly how this system will improve your life immediately. What I know is that if you decide to use this service as I have, you'll thank me when you don't have to worry anymore about any of your computer problems. I hope you enjoy the usage of the system. Go there right now.